Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you a quick tutorial on how to use watercolor pencils. So you'll need your visual journal, you'll need a paintbrush, one piece of paper towel, and a little bit of water, and of course some watercolor pencils. I'd like you to start off with just a choice of maybe 2 or 3, and let's stick with the color scheme of warm colors or cool colors. So I'll leave that up to you which one you decide. In my piece, I'm going to use cool colors. And I just have a small piece of paper because I don't have my own visual journal, but you should do this in your journal. You can fill the page or you can have several pieces on one page. So I'm going to start off with drawing a picture the same way that I would do as drawing with a colored pencil. In your piece, I would like you to have a foreground, a middle ground, and a background. That's a mistake that I made in mine. You can see that I'm adding a horizon line, but I only added a background and a foreground. So I need to do a little bit more work if I was doing this project. And then I'm going to fill in the colors as needed. So you'll see how I'm holding my pencil when I'm filling in a large amount of space is a little bit different than when I'm drawing something specific. When I'm filling in a huge amount of space, I'll hold the pencil a little bit more loosely and shade with the side of the pencil. Whereas if I'm drawing an object, maybe I'll hold my pencil a little bit more tightly and with the tip of the pencil onto the paper. So that's a little tip to help you fill in large amounts of space. So once I'm finished drawing my picture, I'm going to start to add a little bit of water. In this picture, you'll see I'm only adding water to my brush and the color is already on the paper. So I don't need to add my paint palette the way that I did with a typical watercolor watercolor painting. And you'll see that I'm not adding too much water. If my paintbrush gets too wet, then I can just dab it on my paper towel to dry it off a little bit. We want to have enough water, but not too much that it's going to make the paper all wrinkly or blend the colors too much. I'm also adding a little bit more color to my page because I noticed that when I added the light blue, it was not dark enough and I couldn't really see it. So that's something you can experiment with as well. And you'll see here, same way how when I was filling a large amount of space with my colored pencil, I held my pencil differently. When I'm filling a large amount of space with paint, I'm going to hold it differently than you see me holding it now as I'm filling in a small amount of space. That same shift of my pencil is going to apply to my paintbrush as well. Now, something I like to do is to blend colors together. In this case, I've got a light green and a dark green, and I'm shading them onto my page and then blending those colors together with my water. And it looks really beautiful when you have that subtle blending of two different shades of the same color. Another tip for this is, let's say you accidentally colored one section of your paper a little bit too dark and you notice that it stands out really brightly and doesn't blend in that well with the rest. I can do this technique called lifting, where I just clean my brush, add a little bit of water, and instead of adding water and color to the page, I'm actually removing it so that it blends in more seamlessly with the other sections. And that really can help to create your foreground, middle ground, and background as well, because maybe your foreground will be a little bit more dark and stand out a bit more, whereas your background might be a little bit softer.